Hey, Joe. I think we all saw your tweet after the game. So just kind of take us through that play from your perspective. What you saw, what you thought, your reaction, and whether you got any explanation maybe from the officials on it.
We didn't really get any explanation. Well, the explanation that we got was a lot of people said that we weren't offsides. The ball moved, and me and Minka, we were timing that thing up. So as soon as it was a flinch of the ball, we got off it. I felt like it was, a really good get off, and then he was able to block the ball. I think once you get off like that, sometimes two people come in that clean. Referees sometimes just throw it. It's happened to us against the Titans. We've had probably 2-3 blocks since I've been here that just really good get offs. And once everybody gets off on the ball so good, sometimes referees throw the flag. It's unfortunate though.
Noah Strackman.
Hey Joe, you've been tweeting last 12 hours or so, it's not over. We're built for this. What is the morale? What's the attitude in the locker room right now? Have you guys lost any confidence, after yesterday?
Not at all, man. I feel like especially with our defense, I know I'm speaking as a team. Our special teams unit special, our defense and our offense. We know that they're going through a couple struggles right now, but we think that it's nothing that can't be fixed. But on the defense side of the ball, all I can speak for is that we know how much talent we have. We feel like we can just always play better, no matter what situation we get put on the field. We got to make sure we give up field goals instead of touchdowns. Can't be letting things like that happen. So we got to always look in the mirror and grade ourselves. I feel like we can be the best defense in the league. So when the offense may not be clicking like they are right now, special teams and blocking field goals and scoring like that, or being able to intercept the ball, create more turnovers, So we just got to be able to weather the storm. And I don't think that I'm not in the least bit wavered at all. I've been in this league for a long time. And it's so much parity in the NFL that it's 1-2 plays. It's not like we're ever getting blown out. We're always in the games. So, it's just 2 plays here and there. We can have a completely different record. So I think just keeping that mindset and being able to know we're coming in here today on a Monday, studying the tape, and then we're getting to Denver, and we feel like we can win any game that we play. So I'm locked in.
Brian, we'll stay with Brian Backo. We'll go back to you.
Joe, I know you guys lost Cam Sutton to a groin late in that game. Have you been able to link up with him at all, talk to him? Any update on how he's doing?
I haven't seen him yet.
Tim Benz.
Sorry, Joe. Hey, I was just wondering, you guys have a really tough game, at least defense versus defense this week against the Denver Broncos. They got a pretty strong unit. What is on your guys' shoulders to pick up your game even more if this one is as tough as it is to score points as the stats might indicate?
The same thing I was always saying, creating turnovers, making sure we put pressure on the quarterback like we do, intercepting the ball, forcing fumbles. And then at the same time, if they do get in the red zone, if we do get the ball in our sudden change, making sure that they have to kick field goals instead of scoring touchdowns. Making sure we keep them out of the end zone. We have that. We're built for it, and that's the main thing we have to do. Just making sure we keep teams out of the end zone and we create turnovers, sacks, and just have splash plays.
We'll stay with you, Tim.
That's all right. I'm good.
Oh, you're good? All right. Chris Adamski.
Hey, Joe. You just said a lot of things about keeping the confidence. You know how close the NFL is and everything. And I don't want to put you in an awkward spot or anything like that. I don't know, but you've been on some bad teams before you got to Pittsburgh, right? And they probably weren't as veteran teams as this team is, a lot of them, and didn't have the track record a lot of these guys you have in this locker room now. So, in other words, I guess what I'm asking you is it's not just lip service what you're saying. You've been on teams where you knew you didn't have a chance, and you feel like this team you do have a chance. Is that a fair way of putting it? I don't want to put you in a weird.
No, not at all. I feel like in those situations too, every game you have a chance. Even when I was on those bad teams, we never went into the game with a feeling that we were going to lose. Saying we felt like if we were executed, play here or there, still with the Browns. So I'm saying with this veteran team that we have, with these players, with these great coaches, Coach Tomlin, we're coming in each week with a great game plan that we can beat any team, you know what I'm saying? And that's genuinely that we can do that. So when we go out there and don't execute and we, give up plays, and then it's going to happen like that. But just knowing that we have the talent, we have the playmakers, and we can make it happen. So it's nothing outside that we need. It's all in-house that we have all of the answers to the problems.
We'll stay with you, Chris, if you have a follow-up.
Yeah, just on the turnovers, you know, the takeaways this year compared to last year, it's pretty much the same personnel. They aren't there. Is that a matter of just, I don't say bad luck, or is it just going to come and you feel like it's going to come, or just something you can do differently or are doing differently maybe?
I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna come. I think it's gonna come. We put our hands on a couple of balls. But we're gonna be able to. We got to intercept them. We got to intercept them. So you know we're getting close.
Brian Backo, do you have another follow-up?
Yeah, Joe, I just wanted to ask about the struggles for you guys on third down. I think the Packers were 9 of 15, 9 of 16, something like that, and that's kind of continuing a trend. I mean, I know you guys keep talking about execution. Coach Tomlin's talking about execution. What does that mean specifically, at least for you guys on the back end, to kind of speak for your group on terms of what you need to do better?
Situational football, like he said, knowing on those 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5s, what routes they're running, being able to read keys, drop off the quarterback. I mean, it was a tough one this week. You know, Aaron Rodgers, he's really, really smart quarterback. So we were playing that cat and mouse game, trying to disguise, trying to, you know, not let him know what defense we were in. So, you know, hats off to him there, but still we just got to be able to make a couple more plays.
Aditi?
Hey, Joe, what, you know, go back to like week 1, and it sort of had these shades of, you know, the 2002 Tampa Bay Bucks, a #1 defense and maybe an offense that just could do enough. What is the pressure on the defense when you know that you're not necessarily getting bailed out every week?
I wouldn't say it's pressure. I would just say that, you know, we feel like we can be the best defense in the league. So it's kind of, we expect it. We expect it of ourselves. We expect ourselves to be able to play at a very, very high level and not give up points. We had the talent at each level to do it, you know, in the defensive pass rush, the secondary. So it's kind of a letdown when we don't, you know what I'm saying, play at a very, very high level. When people do score on us or we give up 3rd down conversions, we expect to get off the field at all points. Whenever we get put on the field and a sudden changes, anything, make them score field goals instead of touchdowns, keep them out of the end zone. And that's just something that no matter – whenever we line up, that's just the standard. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we should be able to get it done.
But how do you sort of stay in a silo? You know, like just last week, the Bengals were saying that Joe Mixon was saying this defense is so physical that we as an offense feed off of that. You know, you as a defense, when you have a big special teams player, you have a big offensive play, you obviously feed off of that. So when one group of the team is struggling so much, how do you just not let that affect you?
I mean, we are professionals, and that's the one thing that, I mean, me being in this league for so long, your resume is your resume. What are we going to go put bad tape out there because the offense is score points? You got to go out there and create turnovers. You got to go out there, and your tape is your resume. So no matter what happens, no matter when you're out there, we expect to be the best defense in the league. So that's our standard. When we're watching tape in the defensive meeting room, all we're going to talk about is, did you miss that tackle? Why is this dude open? It doesn't matter that while you're out on the field, it's just literally you're watching the tape, you're grading it, and you expect to be perfect, basically. So that's why I think that this group, because everybody just wants, we all are, you got to kind of just, you want to be the best defense you can be, control what you can control. You can't go out there and pass the ball. You're not going to go out there and catch it. So do what you can do to make sure you handle your part.
Can I ask one more, Michael?
Go ahead, Aditi.
Thanks,
Yep.
Joe. I appreciate it. I apologize. I was late. I thought that you were starting at 1:30, so you may have already hit this. But I talked to an official who told me that he would have expected that Coach Smith, that Danny Smith, would have actually talked to the officials beforehand to say, hey, we are aware of something. Pay attention to this. Do you know if that happened? Do you know if there was any conversation between your coaches and the officials even before the blocked field goal?
I don't know.
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
Does it still stick in your craw? You might have already answered that for the guys earlier. Is it still bothering you today?
Not really, but you know, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. I wish that it wasn't called, but you know, we just want to keep executing, and hopefully next time, you know, it looks. I mean, you can see how it looks like if you got such a good jump on the ball. How sometimes, I mean, I said before, it happened to us. Probably it happened to us in Tennessee. It's happened. This is our 3rd time since I've been here. You know, so we just gotta hopefully the referees get us next time.
Okay. But you, again, yesterday you said you definitely thought it was clean. Today you still think it's totally clean?
No, yes, for sure.
Okay. Thanks, Joe.
Jim Colony.
Thanks, Michael. Joe, I don't think you were asked this earlier. I popped in just a little bit late, missed the first question, but I think it was about the field goal. 2 years ago, you guys, that was your Ben got hurt. You had Mason, you had Duck. I mean, you guys started out 1-3. You started out 1-4 even. Are there any things you can draw? Because a bunch of you guys were here 2 years ago. What can you guys draw off that?
I mean, it's literally each week is different. You know what I'm saying? Like every week we got to be able to kind of wipe the slate clean and be able to go out there and go with the good game plan and execute the game plan. Like I said, there's so much parity in the league that it doesn't really matter if you're on a hot streak, if you're on a win streak, you're not better than everybody. If you're on a losing streak, you know what I'm saying, you can still beat everyone. So it's just that every single week coming out there and executing the plan that you and your coaches do that you feel like you're gonna be able to win the game. And I just think that was what we did when we had Mason, and we just knew that we had to go out there and execute on defense and then make sure we didn't turn over the ball on offense. So I think it's just simple, just being simple and making sure you execute.
And we'll wrap it up with Anthony Jaskolski.
Hi, Joe. I'm sorry I came in super late here, and I'm sure you hit on this ad nauseum, but I just wanted to know, as far as the offsides call, should a play like that, a penalty like that, be reviewable in the NFL? And is there a way you can address that with the NFLPA?
I don't know. I'm gonna ask Danny Smith after, but I thought scoring plays would be reviewable. So I mean, I don't see why that one wouldn't be.
Hey, Trai, just looking at the way the offensive line played against the Packers, how do you assess the improvement that you guys made from the Bengals game where it felt like there were a lot of penalties, a lot of things that you guys wanted to sort out during the week? Were you able to solve those for this game?
I just think it's a continual effort to get better, not even just weekly, but daily. Just working to improve throughout the week so that we can show it on Sundays. Not particularly everything that we wanted out of the game, of course. We didn't finish the way that we wanted to finish, but there's always some positives that you could take and some things that we could build upon. We have a pretty young group, so as many positives as we could pull from, we try to.
Anthony Jaskolski.
Hi, Trai. And specifically along those lines, you had just 15 carries, but 62 yards for the rushing game. Do you feel like strides were made in that department? And do you feel like it could have been used more on Sunday?
When I speak for myself. I feel like we love to run the ball, love to set the tone, love to set our pads, and have a demeanor about the line. Sometimes you get away from things when game plans and, situations in the game. But, we want to keep getting better in that aspect of things and getting Najee going and the run game going in general. And I don't think we're going to look at this and say, okay, well, we did a good job. It's a step, but I think we need to make more strides really, really quick.
Anthony, we'll stay with you if you have a follow-up.
No, that's all I had. Thank you.
Okay. We'll go back to Brooke.
Yeah, Trai, you've been doing this a long time, obviously just your first season with the Steelers, but what's the mood in the locker room like right now? And what kind of message are you guys sharing with each other? I know Juju talked yesterday about like, hey, we're not pointing fingers. This isn't how we wanted to start, but how do you guys stay positive when you're in a 3-game losing streak like this?
I think it's all about first starting with yourself, looking yourself in the mirror and realizing how you perfecting your role. And it's not about going outside of your role. It's not about going outside of your normal things that you do on a routine, day-to-day basis. It's about perfecting what you do and doing what you do well. And if all 11 of us that are on the field, whether it be offense, defense, or special teams, play collectively as 11 and give us our best versions of ourselves, I think we'll be okay. So it's not really pointing fingers or a down morale in the locker room. It's more of a, okay, we got to fix this. And it starts with me.
Chris Adamski.
Trai, it seemed like just from afar and with my very uneducated eye that this was probably the best effort from the offensive line through the 4 games this season. Would you agree with that? First off?
I can't I can't speak on that because I'm not the coach. I'm not going to answer that question, but I will say I think we come out and we work really hard. I think, we have a really young group, a talented group that has to continue to play ball, continue to gel, get continuity. And I think we could take some positives from this game, but as I said, we have some strides to make, and we have to make them rather quickly.
Chris, we'll stay with you if you have a follow-up.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, how did Joe Haig, working next to him, how did that go? And just what's his, he's kind of like you, a veteran presence, been around for a long time. Was that, a good feeling to have that in the line too?
Yeah, definitely was happy that Joe was able to come in and, his number was called this weekend. I felt like he stepped up and did everything that he was supposed to do. And, I think that's the mentality of the room. And that's the mentality in the league, No one knows when their number is going to be called, but you had to be prepared when your number is called, and Joe was. So I was happy that he had a solid game.
All right. If anybody else has any questions, just use the raise your hand function, and we'll call on you. All right, Chris.
Just having that 1 yard touchdown, it's something small and it's late in the game and everything, but just being able to convert as a running, you talked about that mentality, and you want that 1 yard to be able to score that. Is that did you guys point that was that a good moment, a feel good moment at least?
It's something that you can look back on. In the moment, you still pressing to get more points. But, in hindsight, you can't look at that as a building block and something to build upon. We hadn't discussed that just yet. But thinking about it with the question, yes, I think that was a building block for us. And I was happy to get Najee in the end zone for his first touchdown.
Brian Backo, you just hopped on. Did you have something for Trai?
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Michael. Thanks, Trai. Just wanted to ask, you've been around a lot of running backs at this point in your career. What are you seeing out of Najee as a young guy in terms of how hard he's running when you go back and look at the film, or even in game when you see him in front of you?
I think Najee is a hard runner. He's very instinctive and he's very physical. I think when you get to this level in the game, you realize that the people across from you are the same, if not more at times, depending on who you face. So I feel like Najee's going to that point and finding what was going to set him apart. And it's only game 4. We fret week to week, like every week is a Super Bowl, and some weeks are, admittedly bigger than others, but we still have some time, man. I believe in everybody and all the staff, and I believe in the players that we have on the field. And I feel like it's only a matter of time.
Brian, we'll stay with you.
Thanks. Yeah, the other question I had for you, Trai, was just I think it was last week, Coach Tomlin said that you guys had to kind of get back to your identity or stick with what your identity is. I mean, what do you think this offense's identity is at this point, 4 games in?
At this point, I feel like we're just searching, and when I say we're searching, we're trying to put points on the board. So whether it's be a pass, whether that's run, whether that's screen, so no matter what it is, we have to get points on the board. Sometimes I think we get into this mindset of doing more, and that doesn't always help. We have to just continue to plow down, work on our basics, our basic fundamentals, key in on those, and just go out there and play football. It's not a perfect play out there. It's never a perfect play. You have to go out there and you have to make everything. So honestly, to answer that question, we have to make everything our bread and butter. We can't be a one-dimensional squad. So